Oh, it is good to be with you guys. Welcome to the Dream Wager, episode 239 here on a Tuesday night, a little over 7 o'clock here on the East Coast, January the 24th, 2023. As always, I am your host, Dylan, and I'm joined each and every episode by my partner in crime, our NBA guru, Elvis Acosta. How the hell you doing today, kid?
Great, Dill. Great. After a long day at work, still in a great mood, Dill. Excited to do this show. What a weekend.
What a weekend. I mean, we'll get right into it. We had a great weekend of divisional round in the NFL. In the NBA, real quick, how have you been this weekend, betting-wise? In the green still?
No, I haven't been in the green in the NBA recently. Last 7 days, we've been all right, but not the best week, Dill. Last
Yeah,
7 days, 9-6-1. We all right, but not great.
barely floating above water. Same here. Last 7 days, 27, 24-2, 1 unit up. Had a even day yesterday, 1-1-1. I pushed, I won one, and I lost one. So looking for her bounce back here on a Tuesday. Let's get right into it, Elvis. Divisional round last week. I thought it was a really good one. Started off with the Jags and the Chiefs. You know, Jags cover with that late field goal. So shout out Dougie P for kicking it. You covered. I hit on my Travis Kelce prop. Josh Allen did not get a sack, but Jags cover. The game goes under. Patrick Mahomes, I think the biggest question and the biggest storyline of this game. Patrick Mahomes suffers a high ankle sprain. So, I mean, he did come back in the game. He didn't look right, obviously. It was definitely hurting him. They taped it up really well. He still was manageable. They still won the game, but against Cincinnati, a team that has beat them 3 times in a calendar year and might have their number, might be a tough task. But before we get to that, what'd you think of Patrick Mahomes and what did you think of the game overall?
Overall, Dill, the Chiefs coming out, you could tell the Trevor Lawrence in that team. They were just a young team. Dill. I don't think they were ready to face somebody like the Chiefs in Arrowhead. Give credit to the Chiefs. They face pressure, especially when Patrick Mahomes went out in that one series and Chad Henne was able to march him down the field 98 yards. How impressive was that, Dill? But overall for the game, I think moving forward, the biggest concern is Patrick Mahomes. How would he look moving forward? How he's going to be is he going to be mobile enough to get out of those quick scenarios when he's going to get sacked? And we've seen him rush for multiple 10, 20 yards in the postseason. So, moving forward, is his ankle going to be good enough? We know he's going to play. He's a warrior. He didn't even want to come out the game Saturday. But is he going to be effective? That's the thing. Yeah, but give credit to Dougie P and the Jaguars for a great season, but you just running into a juggernaut with the Kansas City Chiefs.
100%. And you're right. You got to give all the flowers to Chad Henne. Eric Bieniemy and Eric Reed coming down, leading that drive. 98, man. He comes in prepared. 5 for 7, 23 yards. He got a TD as well. The ultimate game manager, and they knew they were in good hands. And I think that ultimately won them the game, that drive. So shout out Chad Henne coming in and just performing, being able to do it. Isaiah Pacheco, what a game. That kid runs hard. You should have leaned over on his rushing yards. I knew you were leaning towards that way. I know it was at a big number, but they trust this kid, 12 carries for 97 yards. He's averaging 8 yards a pop. What'd you think of that kid's first playoff divisional round for him?
Dude, he ran hard, and that's the thing. A lot of running backs, they try to Barry Sanders. They try to be too elusive. They always trying to avoid the big hit. He's running through people, and I think that's what gets him the extra yards. Because as a defender, you expected him to go down after contact. No, he's running through you, and that's how he gets the extra 3, 4, 5 yards, and that's what makes it special, Dill. Because he's running hard every time. He's running as hard as he can straight. He's not like he's trying to avoid these hits. He's running through contact, Dill, and that's what's great. So shout out him, kid from Rutgers. Hey, he might just be the starting running back moving forward.
Oh, I think he definitely earned his RB1 position, definitely. But I think the Jags forgot to cover Travis Kelce. They couldn't guard that man. 14 catches for 98 yards, 2 tutties. I mean, he literally got anything he wanted. I saw them try to double cover him. They just can't. He's the best tight end in the league. And you even said he might be the best tight end ever. Is that you still stand by that?
Yeah, I'm going to stand on it there. I think officially Travis Kelce is the greatest tight end ever. he could pass block. I'm a Patriots fan. Gronk is there. Gronk is number 2. He got the Super Bowl rings, but hey, the way Chiefs, Patty Mahomes, and Travis Kelce, they don't look like they're slowing down anytime soon. So I still think they could keep this thing rolling for another 3, possibly 5 more years, them together. So, Dill, when it's all said and done, I think he'll be the greatest of all time. I already got him there.
Yeah, he has one, and I think he, like you said, they're not slowing down. That's fifth straight AFC championships for the Chiefs. But switching over to the Jag side real quick, I know they lost, but they fought. They had a really good season coming back to win the division, win a playoff game. I think they got their guy in Dougie P. Trevor Lawrence is the real deal. What a leader, too. I know they lost, but he stayed in the tunnel. He shook everyone's hand, He's a guy that you want to lead with and that you want to play for. So he had a really good game. He did have that one interception early on, which I don't think it really hurt him late in the game. But Travis Etienne, I think that's a good running back. And I think they have some really good pieces on the outside. Zay Jones had a nice game. Christian Kirk had a nice touchdown as well. Evan Ingram had a resurgent career in Jacksonville. So I think the future's bright for the Jags. Am I correct on that?
I think so, Dale. You take that interception off the board. You take that key fumble, at the 3-yard line?
They were driving, yeah.
They were driving. Hey, we probably having a different conversation right now, Dale. You take Trevor Lawrence bad interception away. I think in that possession, remember, that was 1st and goal. And then, he fumbles. So you take that fumble off the board. Is it 27-27 heading into overtime? We don't know. But like I said, moving forward as a Jaguars fan, you gotta be licking your chops. Gotta be feeling good. You got Trevor Lawrence, still got a rookie deal, so you can go out, spend money, spend money on a defensive end, linebacker, safety, or even get another weapon. I think you're good at the running back position, but you also got to pay those people as well. Got to pay Travis Etienne, and I think next year possibly you got to extend Trevor Lawrence. But moving forward, Dill, I think if you're a Jaguars fan, you're loving this moment.
Yeah, you're excited because you don't know what's going on with the Colts are a mess. Texans are a mess. Tennessee, you don't really know what's going on with the QB situation. They got a good coach, but they don't really have necessarily weapons. I think Jacksonville's on the out in a very good position to not just have a good future, but to really control this division moving forward. But yeah, I like the Jags moving forward. They kind of remind me of like the Bengals a little bit, how the Bengals have overcome a lot and now they're doing really well. So the other game, this is the game I really should have laid all the money on because I said there might be 2 blowouts, and I called one, and the Eagles, they just jumped on the Giants' throat from the jump, Elvis. We watched the game. What a performance. They dominated the Giants from start to end. They covered the game. Both games actually on Saturday go under the total. Jalen Hurts looked good. He didn't really look like any rust. He didn't look like he was hurt. He ran in for a touchdown. He made the right reads on the RPOs. He was able to run the ball. He threw the ball well. He took some hits and jumped right back up. It didn't look like his shoulder was bothering him, so that's a good sign going forward. But and their defense was flying around. They picked Daniel Jones off, and I know Daniel Jones had a good year and a good season, and this game shouldn't take anything away, but he didn't look good. This might have been his worst game. He looked slow. He looked hesitant. He didn't look like he was reading the right coverages on defense. So I don't want to pick on Daniel Jones because he did have a good season. But first, let's talk about the Eagles' dominant performance. Sirianni, you got to love the fucking guy, too. I know what the fuck I'm doing. You got to love it, too. But what'd you make of the Eagles' performance?
Dill, like you said, from start to finish, they just clearly dominated this game. They looked so much impressive, especially from this jump. I didn't expect Jalen Hurts to look as good as he did. And guess what, Dill? That defense was very well rested during that bye week. Believe that. Looked like they're all healthy. Even Lane Johnson, remember, he kind of, hurt his quad or his groin, week 17, week 18? And look, he's right back in the lineup and holding it down. So when you have one of the best guards in the league, that helps as well. So give credit to Jalen Hurts in that running game. Looked amazing. They were just running the ball down the field. Jalen Hurts, you know what? I knew he was healthy, Dill, when he ran left and he didn't go down. He took the hit. Yeah. And I was like, okay, the shoulder's fine. That's not the issue. So I love everything I saw from the Phillies. I gotta like them moving forward, Dill. But the Giants, did look bad. Like you said,
Yeah.
Daniel Jones didn't look good. Looked like the same Daniel Jones you saw the first 3 seasons of his career. Hey, they just never really got anything going
No,
offensively.
they couldn't.
Give credit to the Eagles defense because that was damn near a flawless performance by them.
Yeah. Fletcher Cox, they got that pass rush home. They Dominican
It's
Sue.
so look,
Yeah, they got
they're loaded.
linebackers.
They're
They
loaded,
have
and they've got
corners.
a lot of veterans. Remember, they
Yeah.
still got Ingram there,
Yeah.
who fumbled Tom Brady to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So you got the experience factor there. Jason Kelsey still a center there. So you got champions on that team.
Speaking of Jason Kelsey, did you see? And he pushed Dexter Lawrence, an All-Pro, with one arm. That man is a beast. That offensive line is moving. Like you said, they were able to run at will. Miles Sanders wasn't even their leading rusher. It was Kenneth Gainwell. He rushed for over 100 yards, 12 carries for 100.
A lot of them was garbage time in the fourth. You kind of don't want to get Sanders hurt. So you let Gainwell popped it off at the end.
Yeah. And you gotta love it. The giant killer Boston Scott, another touchdown. They just rub it in their face every time he's out there. They're like, "Hey, go get another touchdown." But they did it. And you know who had a quiet game? AJ Brown.
Quiet. They didn't need him. They didn't need him.
You know what I noticed?
The score was 14-0 before he even looked up.
What I noticed too, and they just kept going back to it. Shotgun inside zone read. That's all they did, and the Giants could not stop it. They ran it down their throat. I thought I saw the play at least 7-8 times. If a guy like me is watching home and am I able to identify a play that they're just going to continue, there's literally nothing they could do, the Giants. I honestly felt bad at a point. It was bully ball. They were just going to continue to run the ball down their mouth. And, I think they kind of took it personal. Everyone all week said, the Giants could hang with them. The Giants could hang with them. And I think they made a statement. So now going on the other side, very interesting moving forward. Good year for them. I think they got the coach. Brian Dable is the right guy, I think, there. I think they need to go out and get some pieces on the outside. I think they need linebacker help. I think they need corner help. They have a pretty decent line. I think Evan Neal's going to be a good player. He didn't have the best season, but they drafted him, and I think he can be a good player. What worries me is the contract situation with Daniel Jones and Saquon. So the GM came out and said they asked him, obviously, hey, do you want Daniel Jones back? And he said it at least 4 or 5 times inside this sentence. He goes, we want our guy. This is our guy, Daniel Jones. We're going to make it work. And then when they asked about Saquon, he's a good player. We like him. Never not once said, hey, we want him back like they did with Daniel Jones. So I bury the question to you. I think they won't let Daniel Jones walk out of the building. I think he gets re-signed. I don't know if they tag Saquon, but I think the organization is to a point where they're okay with letting Saquon go if it's not for the right number. Do you agree with that? And if that is the case, where do you think Saquon could go?
Well, at the end of the day, it's a business. So it has to be for the right number. We've seen the Cowboys make Ezekiel Elliott the highest paid running back.
That's a bad contract.
And see how it worked out for them. Derrick Henry, still not the highest paid running back, and he's been dominating the league for the last 5 seasons. So I think you got to be careful because you can't pay him for what he's done. You got to pay him for what he's going to do moving forward. And history tells you, this is Saquon's first healthy season. Yeah. So history will tell you he might get injured again. I hope he doesn't because he had a tremendous season. So I hope he's injured free for the next 3-4 as long as his career could go.
Yeah.
I think he's a hell of a talent, but like you said, Dill, they got to get it for the right numbers. So if Saquon wants, top 3, top 2 money, which is, around 14, 15, 16 mil, I don't think the Giants going to be able to work that out, Dill.
I don't either.
So maybe he goes somewhere like somebody that's a running back away. Maybe something like we saw with Christian McCaffrey with the 49ers. Hey, maybe a Buffalo will spend that money. They probably think.
Oh, I was thinking them.
They're probably running back away. Hey, give the call to the Rams. See if they got any money left. I think they possibly a running back away if they come back or everybody healthy. So teams like that, that just could be a running back. Hey, if Tom Brady signs back with Tampa needs a running game. Do you think Saquon would have helped that running game out? I think they'll be so. It all depends, Dill. But like you said, if the Giants and Saquon can't agree on the right number, Saquon's goal. They got to keep Daniel Jones because you know how hard it is to win in this league without a quarterback. And Daniel Jones, I'm not gonna say you can win a Super Bowl with him, but he's taking you places.
But they're replaceable. I think you and I could both agree. You could go and get a running back.
Yeah, you could draft a running back this year. What they got? Top 24 pick, 22 pick. So you could go out there, draft a running back in the first, second round, and load up with them, and have them on rookie deals by all means. But
you got a young Breece Hall. We got him in the second round, so they're definitely available later in the draft. You just gotta scout well. And there was a report during their bye week. I think the Giants had week 11 or week 12 bye. They went to negotiate to try to resolve the contract with Saquon, and they offered him 11 or 12 million guaranteed, and he obviously rejected it, which I thought would be the number he would get. I can't see him getting 14 to 15 million. I just can't see it.
It should be like a 3-year, $20 million deal, $10 million guarantee, fully guaranteed. I think it'll be something like that. Maybe 3-year deal. I shorted it a little bit. A 3-year deal at like $28-30 million. Give him around like 10.
He's trying to reset the market, but I think he definitely wants top 5 money.
Top 5 is more than $10 million a year, deal, and I think the Giants tap out at $10 million a year.
Yeah, and I think they went above and beyond when the bye week when they offered him 11.5, 12 million guaranteed. I think they wanted that offer was more than what they were willing to spend.
Yeah, we'll see, Dill. We'll see. I just hope
it's very interesting. I'm just fascinated by the whole thing because I do think besides Daniel Jones and maybe Dexter Lawrence, I think he's your best player. And
when healthy, and
healthy, that's a big win. You're right.
That's the thing, Dill. They wanted you to go by what could he do moving forward, not what have you done. What have you done? You had one healthy season in the last 3. So I gotta pay you how many seasons moving forward. I think you're gonna be healthy and play at this level. Because if you're gonna dip down in numbers next season, I'm not gonna pay you top dollars if you're gonna not be a top 5 running back. If I'm going to pay you top 5 money for the next 3 years, I need you to be a top 5 running back for the next 3 years.
Yeah. It definitely should be interesting to see what they do, but it wouldn't surprise me, and I don't think it would surprise you if they went their separate ways and they couldn't get a deal done. But I think we both agree Daniel Jones is the quarterback moving forward. I think he will get the contract, correct?
Yeah, I think so, Dale. Let's just see what number could they get it down. Is he gonna get, Deshaun Watson money?
No.
Is he gonna get Kyler Murray money?
No.
I think
and it's crazy.
I think that's the market, Dale.
I understand, but I don't see that in Daniel Jones. And I know he had a great year, and I was his biggest advocate. I said, hey, Daniel Jones is the guy who did the most with less this season, but to compare him to, I don't stick up for Kyler Murray at all, but I could see why they would give him that money as opposed to Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
You could see the talent on the field. And I don't like them comparing him to a Josh Allen, a Justin Herbert. He has none of those skills. And that's not to say he's not bad though.
Joe, if I'm Daniel Jones' agent, I'm showing up with game fill of Russell Wilson and his contract, because that's a good comparison. I can say Daniel Jones and Russell Wilson are kind of, it's a coin flip. Who's better right now? Who would you take moving forward, Daniel Jones or Russell Wilson? Russell Wilson just got 245 M's.
Though. I know. And how much was that the coach, though? You and I both agree, I think, with the coach. Now, let's hypothetical.
That's the thing. The Giants have the coach. And we've seen the improvement from last year to this year. So which he will improve next year.
Especially if they get him weapons.
Exactly, Dale. After if Sterling Shepard comes back healthy, you have another weapon. If you sign somebody else, hey, maybe he could develop a little more.
Higgins or Tyler Boyd.
Exactly. One of them is going to ask for big money. Hey, even D-Hop, he might be on the trade market. Go out there and go get him. There's going to be receivers out there that want to get this money, Dale. So, like I said, I want to ask you again, because you haven't answered.
It's very hard, Elvis.
Daniel Jones or Russell Wilson, because at the end of the day, Russell Wilson didn't take your team to the playoffs. Daniel Jones did. Yeah. And they're similar quarterbacks. And
it's so hard for me to not see the Super Bowl run from Russ. And I'm trying to get that out of my mind. That
was 8 years ago.
I understand. But now, hypothetical, if they wind up signing Sean Payton, I think Russell Wilson will have a resurgent career. or resurgent year. And I think we could come back a few years later and say all that bad play from Russ, one, was Nathaniel Hackett, and two, some of his key players were hurt.
But you can't say that. We got to say moving forward. From what you saw this year, moving forward. Not the Super Bowl run. Not what if Sean Payton is the coach.
That's a very hard question. And I don't think I could answer that.
And if I'm Daniel Jones' agent, I'm showing film of Russell Wilson and his contract. So I'm going to show his contract first, then show the film, and then show the contract.
There's no doubt Daniel Jones had a much better season than Russell Wilson. I don't think anyone could deny that.
And Russ is getting damn near $50 million a year.
But he's not getting that from last year. He's getting that because of his career.
I understand that, Dill. I'm not saying Daniel Jones deserves around $50 million. All I'm saying is, Dill, I think the market is $200 million. That's what I'm saying.
I just don't see it. Just because the Ravens are offering, which he just rejected, they offered Lamar 211, 212.
That's Lamar, Dill. That's the MVP. That's the top 5.
Exactly. And if he's getting around 211, 210, there's no way it should be even remarkably close for Daniel Jones.
Question: do you think another team will offer Lamar more than 211? I believe so.
I think there would be, yes.
Exactly. So that's what the Ravens are offering. You don't know what the Cowboys are willing to offer. Or
my thing is the what everyone's making a year, Josh Allen's of the world, Patrick Mahomes, they're making 40 plus.
Real quick. How much you think Derek Carr makes?
40 million.
My point, Daniel Jones is better than Derek Carr.
But I don't think he's worth 40 million. Do you think Daniel Jones is worth 40 million?
All I'm saying is he's better than Derek Carr. Derek Carr's getting 40 million. Daniel Jones deserves 40 million.
I don't think that's possible. You asked me if there's a team that's willing to pay Lamar more than that. I would bet a significant amount of money to you that I don't think any football team would offer Daniel Jones 40 million a year.
I think some teams will.
Off of 1 year? You have a lot more question marks with Daniel Jones than you do with other quarterbacks. All these quarterbacks that we're trying to compare him to have proven something in the league. Yeah, they might have had a down year or a bad year, but they've proven that they could play for multiple years. Derek Carr, say what you want about him, but he changed the franchise for the I almost said Oakland again, for the Las Vegas Raiders. So
but
say what you want. Yeah, he definitely did. He's the all-time leading passer yard for the team. He's done a lot. He's done a lot more than Daniel Jones.
He's good.
40 million.
He's good. I'm not saying he's not good. He's good. All I'm saying is, if he's getting 40 million, I think Daniel Jones should get around 40 million.
I don't think the Giants are going to do that, just based on the contract negotiations that they're doing with Saquon, or just in history. They're another team that's never going to give you top dollar or reset the market money.
That's the thing. 40 million is bottom. That's not even top dollar. Top dollar is 50 mil. Aaron Rodgers gets 50 million a year.
I think Daniel Jones is sitting around 35, 36. I think that's the number he gets. I just
still, that's not far off from 40 million.
But it is.
Like Jimmy G, he gets around like 20, 25. Yeah. I think Daniel Jones deserves at least 10 to 20 more than that.
But Jimmy G's done more.
Hey, that's his contract.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, all these guys that have a lot of money and that have gotten these big contracts, they've proven themselves. Daniel Jones has had one good season. I don't think we should overreact, because God forbid you give all of this money to this kid and then he goes back to normal. And then you're like, wow, now I'm kind of fucked. Now we either have to trade him. It could happen. I know they got the coach, and I know you and I believe he's the guy, but he might not be. We got to be very cautious, and
I think he'll be better, especially with Brian Daboll next to him. I think he'll have a similar, if not better, season next year, especially if they go out and get a weapon or two.
Yeah, hopefully they stay healthy. They get a weapon or two on the offensive line as well. Maybe they get a better defense. So should be interesting. Very fascinating, his contract. I think he stays, but I think it's going to be around the 35 million mark. But let's get to the Elvis, I got to give you credit, man. The Bengals again reached the AFC Championship. They didn't just beat the Bills. They took a shit on the fucking Bills, man.
Pure domination. Let's just say that.
From start to finish, I think I owe the Bills. No, I owe the Bengals their flowers because I said the Bills were better. They were my pick to go to the Super Bowl to take on the 49ers. So I got one team still alive. Yeah, the Bills just didn't come out to play. Josh Allen, excuse me, red zone turnovers are a thing. And we've seen this all year. Without Brian Dable, he is not the same quarterback. He turns the ball over, and he hasn't been the same since the Jets injured his arm. We've seen it throughout the year. You're laughing, but
I know you're serious. That's why I'm laughing.
The Jets hurt him, and he hasn't been the same. He's actually underthrown people. Him and Stephon Diggs not getting along. And I think I think we've all said it. The top two quarterbacks in the AFC, Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. Joe Burrow's in that tier now. Joe Burrow is better than Josh Allen, in my opinion. Joe Burrow's changed this franchise. He and the Bengals won 3 playoff games in a calendar year, dating back to last year. So the Bengals, they were able to run the hell out of the ball with 3 backup offensive linemen. What a game by Mixon. He ran for 102 yards. Together, they rushed for 172. I think missing Von Miller hurt them, but for them to go out and control the point of attack in the line of scrimmage is just remarkable. They protected Joe Burrow as well. And who I don't think gets enough credit? Zach Taylor. What a job by him turning this team around, making it to the Super Bowl, now second straight AFC Championship game. I think this is a dangerous team, and I think Joe Burrow's in the peak. I think he's in his prime, and I think we're going to see a lot. I think it's like when we were growing up, it was always Peyton Manning, Phillip Rivers, it was Joe Flacco, Ben Roethlisberger, Peyton Manning. I think it's those 3. It's going to be Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, and Joe Burrow for years on to come. So what'd you make of Joe Burrow's performance and ultimately the Bengals?
Dill, pure domination, honestly, Dill. Perfect play, perfect start. Dill, when they were able to march down the field in the first possession, I was like, oh, yeah, the Bills are in trouble. When you're able to execute that flawlessly in the snow in front of that crowd, that's when I knew. I was like, oh, yeah, the Bengals are real deal. And then they go march back down the field and do it again, Dill. Never at one point in this game, I was like, oh, yeah, the Bills have a chance to win in this game. That's how one lopsided it was, Dill. Give credit to the offensive line, Dill. 3 starters out. Could you tell? Joe Burrow didn't get touched once. And we was talking about how good, Dan Oliver is, how Manalo is, how even without Von Miller, the Bills front is still getting pressure. Joe Burrow didn't get bothered.
Nope.
So that was the most impressive thing, how impressive that old line looked with 3 starters being out. All the shit we gave him last season and even early this season, Joe Burrow getting sacked so many times. He didn't get touched once in the snow. And I think was the major key, Dill. You saw them running the ball. You seen Joe Burrow be untouched. And guess what, Dill? That defense might be a top 10 defense.
I was just going to say another piece on that team that needs credit is their defense. And led by the defensive coordinator, Lou Anarumo, the way he disguises some of these zone blitzes, the safety coming over the top, and Josh Allen not even seeing him. The way they attack, I think Hendrickson on the corner, rushing the quarterback. They swarm to the ball. They play great camaraderie team defense.
Still, I seen them get a sack when they rushed 3.
Yeah.
They rushed 3 and got a sack.
Yeah.
So that's the impressive part. And that's another thing, Dill. They kept throwing different formations at Josh Allen. And we seen Josh Allen. He kind of struggled reading the defense still. And I think that was the problem because we saw a lot of overthrows. A lot of throws go out of bounds. A lot of throws go on the dirt just because he wasn't reading it right. Everything was his second or third option. It didn't look like he was ever getting in the flow with his number 1 option. And I think that was the biggest thing, that they threw off Josh Allen in that offense. How we haven't seen it all season. I remember at one point at the season, you kept cashing every game over, Bills team total, over. Dill, that offense looked, pedestrian, Dill. It didn't look like we saw all season, and I was shocked by the performance that we saw from Cincinnati defense. I know Joe Burrow is a bad man, and he officially entered that room. He's been that dude. But that defense, that was the show. The offensive line and the defense was the show.
Is it too crazy to say Joe Burrow might be the best quarterback in the league?
It's not crazy. I'll still give the title to Patrick Mahomes,
But
but
it's not crazy.
it's not crazy. I'm not gonna argue. He's been to back AFC championships, 3-0 against Patty Mahomes. If he goes 4-0, I might have to give him that title.
He's 4-0 against Patty Mahomes and Josh Allen. He's undefeated against Josh Allen as well. So all the guys that we put him up towards, he beats. He's so calm. He's cool. He never panics. Like you said, from the opening drive and scoring a touchdown, going down the field in a hostile environment, snowy conditions, they didn't skip a beat. They just ran down their throat. Jamar Chase, Hayden Hurst had a good game as well.
Yeah.
5 catches for 59 yards. But I just think this team is dominant. You were right. You saw them fading for the past couple weeks now. You tried to warn me, but I just always kept believing in Josh Allen, and it ruined me. And to be honest, that's 3 years in a row. And this was the odds-on favorite team to win the Super Bowl. So
I remember after that dominant performance week 1 against the Rams, everybody was rushing saying, "Oh, the Bills are the best team in football," and I was like, "Let's not go that quick. Let's not go that quick yet."
And I think everyone's saying, "Oh, it was a positive year." You know, they went 13-3. You could win 12. We saw with the Cowboys, you could win 12, 13 games, but at a certain point, if you don't make it to the AFC Championship, you don't get to the Super Bowl. It's a disappointment season, is it not?
It's a disappointing. I think we all had the Bills finishing up there. I personally didn't have them going to the Super Bowl, but no, a lot of teams did. A lot of people did. Remember, they were all God's favorite to win it all. And then, at points of this season, they were looking like the best team in football. But soon as they lost Von Miller, that was a big hit. And then, we just saw Josh Allen kind of fade, slowly through the year, week on, and then he ran into the Bengals. Give Joe Burrow and that team credit.
They never found a run game. They never found their identity, meaning they always had something different implemented if they were down, if they were up. But the true teams, the teams that are still here and still winning, you know what they're going to do. You know what the 49ers, even when the 49ers were in a close game, we'll get to that game in a minute. At a halftime, you knew what the hell they were going to do. They were going to run it down your throat. At a certain point, Kyle Shanahan was going to figure you out. Sirianni, the good teams, they have an identity. The Bills don't have an identity, and I think they've struggled with that for the past 3 years now. Remember that big moment 3 years ago where Stephon Diggs is looking like, "Hey, I'm watching just to let you know, like, we'll be here soon." You have yet to go. It's been 3 years in a row, and that's no shame. And I think temperatures are flaring in Buffalo, and I'm not saying blow it up, but there's definitely something going on in Buffalo where I don't know if it's Coach McDermott. I think he's the right guy, but like I said, they don't have a true running back. Stephon Diggs, if he doesn't get the ball, you could tell that this offense struggles. So what do you see moving forward? I think Josh Allen is the guy, but what does the Bills have to do to get over this hump?
They might have to, get somebody that could really work a game plan or some type of threat offensively when they need to put up points still. Because we saw failure three years in a row. I think McDermott's a great coach. Josh Allen, he makes the throws, to be like, oh, that's impressive. That was great. But when it comes down to, nip and tuck to win a game, you see him sometimes be deer in headlights still. So I just feel like maybe with a better OC. I wouldn't even say a better OC, just a better game plan, 2-minute drills, stuff like that. Even a better running game, this offense might be able to take the next step and, compete in AFC and Super Bowl.
You were mentioning about offensive coordinators, even on the defensive side, Frazier, the good DC that they have, they got kind of exposed against Joe Burrow. I think Zach Taylor out-schemed Frazier in that defense. Am I correct?
Yeah, but that defense was riddled with injuries still all season long. Yeah. Secondary wasn't there. Von Miller wasn't there. So you was down. You was down off the rip. You're down 2 starting safeties with Michael Hyde and Hamlin. So you can't ask too much for a couple backups in the secondary going against arguably one of the best wide receiver duels in the league, and Joe Burrow, who we just had a conversation saying he might just be the best quarterback in football.
All right, Elvis. Should be interesting, that AFC Championship, Chiefs and Bengals rematch of last year. So Can't wait to see. I wish Patrick Mahomes was 100%, but we will see. It goes down. And I'm glad they got the later game because I honestly do think that is the better game. But NFC Championship, 49ers taking on the Eagles. But 49ers, they beat the Cowboys. It was a very good game. I thought it was the game of the week. You even texted me like, yo, this is a game. And it reminded me of like this old school kind of nip and tuck, grind it out. And you felt like at the end in the third, fourth quarter, whoever's going to get a touchdown is going to win this game. Whoever's going to be able to get a stop. And it winded up being the 49ers 19-12. They win at home. And, I want to ask you real quick. Did you see what Dallas's Twitter put out? And
yeah, I seen that where they were like, basically throwing Dak under the bus. I ain't gonna read
where he already after the game took not credit, he took blame and said, "Hey, this is my fault. It starts with me. I'm the leader of this team. I'm the quarterback. It starts with me. I can't be turning the ball over." You just can't do that though. Even though I don't stand up for Dak. You can't throw your quarterback underneath the bus. And for it to remain up is very telling because Jerry Jones, everyone, they say he's the guy, but they gave him a lot of money, 70 something of it first year. So I don't know. It's very telling to put your quarterback out there. He didn't play well at all, but I just don't, I correct me if I'm wrong or if you have a different opinion, but I don't think I don't think they could win with Dak, especially Dallas's system. I don't think they could win with Dak. It is what it is at this point. I think we've seen enough sample size where, yeah, he could get you far. He could win you 13, 14 games, but at a certain point when the pressure is too high, he's just not the guy. Maybe in a Kyle Shanahan's offense, but not in Dallas. He's been inconsistent all year. How the season ended last year is exactly how the season ended this year. Everyone wants to talk about the last drive, but there are multiple drives throughout the game that I could point to that I could be like, well, this is a drive that Dak messed up on. In the first half, there is another one where he just couldn't read the coverage. He couldn't pick up the blitz. So I just don't think Dallas can win with him. I think eventually they're going to have to move on. I think they lack playmakers besides CeeDee Lamb. They can't get anything going offensively. It's the same thing with Buffalo. If Stephon Diggs can't get anything going, you see their offense really dwindle, and they really miss Amari Cooper. I think that contract to Zeke really fucked them. And besides CeeDee Lamb, they don't really have anyone. I think this system needs a new quarterback. I don't know if Mike McCarthy's job is secure. I know Jerry Jones continues to say that, but I don't know. Now Tony Pollard's a free agent, but he went down. And when he went down, it was over. He fractured his fibula. They really couldn't get anything going. He's a free agent. Now they have questions. Is he going to be the same? What if we sign him? One, what'd you make of the game? And two, am I off base on Dak not being the guy moving forward?
By the game, though, I think Dak Prescott, he is the reason why they lost there. I think two throws they could have won in the game. Well, it was four throws that kind of honestly could have won the game. The two bad interceptions. The first one was horrible. The second one was just a bad idea. I understand. Yeah. I'm not gonna say it was a horrible because it was off a tip pass, but it was just a bad idea. You CeeDee there in double coverage, and at that point in the game, they already knew you were zeroing in the CeeDee Lamb. It was CeeDee Lamb or bust. So. And then two other throws there that he could have made and possibly, could have won in the game. The one where CeeDee Lamb got the penalty and still caught the ball. That ball was underthrown. That ball was underthrown by like 15 yards. Yeah. CeeDee Lamb that's the only reason the flag was thrown. CeeDee Lamb had to stop. The fact that he still caught it was impressive. But if Dak throws that ball 10 yards downfield, CeeDee's still running with that ball. So that's 7 points right there. And then the other ball is to Michael Gallup. He threw it behind his left shoulder. If you hit him on stride, maybe not a touchdown, but you're already in field goal range. Those are points. I understand Maher been missing the extra points, but he did make his field goal. So that's 10 points right then and there, though. You win the game. So I just feel like you said, when Tony Pollard went down, the offense was kind of one-dimensional, and they knew they were going to run the ball because with Zeke can't run the ball like that no more, Dale. He was averaging 2 yards a carry. They can't go nowhere like that. So of course, they were just going to force feed CeeDee Lamb. They tried to hit Jordan Schultz. That didn't look like the same chemistry we saw last week. Like you said, they were missing CeeDee Lamb. I guarantee Jerry
Amari
Jones.
Cooper.
Yeah, Amari Cooper. I guarantee Jerry Jones regrets that trade at halftime of that game. Guaranteed it, because he knew everything was going to CeeDee Lamb, and they just started double coveraging him. And that right then and then the game was over. Give credit to the 49ers. They made enough plays to win the game. Brock Purdy made that great throw to George Kittle. Impressive throw. Great catch, by the way. But that defense just held it on. Made Dak Prescott look mediocre at times during the game. So give credit to that defense. And Dale, are you a little hard on Dak? Yes. Do I think Dallas could win a Super Bowl with Dak Prescott? With the right coach and the right players, yes.
So you're more worried about Mike McCarthy?
No, I'm not worried about Mike McCarthy. I'm just worried about can Dak be more consistent? Can we see more what we saw in Tampa than what we saw yesterday in Washington? And like with the right scheme, with Kyle Shanahan, you saw him win games with Nick Mullins. You saw him win a ton of games with Jimmy G. You've seen him now undefeated with Brock Purdy. So I just feel like, hey, with the right coach, the right system, hey, maybe even Sean Payton. Give Sean Payton a call. If you can get Sean Payton in there, I guarantee Dak Prescott. He won't look like Drew Brees, but he'll get somewhere,
Yeah. And there was a report today. There was a mystery team. No one knows, but they said they're going to get their ducks in order and they could be able to throw the boat at Sean Payton. I don't know if it's the Cowboys, or they did mention, we'll do a play on with words. Ducks in order. Who went to Oregon? The Ducks. Justin Herbert. That could mean nothing, but it is very strange how they use those terminology in their sentence, because we've all said Brandon Staley's job is not secure, and he hasn't been fired yet, so we are waiting to see. But
and that's one of the best young quarterbacks.
Oh my God. Staying in LA where he is right now, getting that job is, I think that's the best. Besides the Cowboys job, maybe if it does open, I think that's the best job.
Yeah, Cowboys. I say Cowboys or hey, nah. Realistically, it'll be the Chargers, Cowboys. And I'll be honest.
You wanted to say something. I know you did.
Yeah, I would like Denver as well, just because I feel like you said earlier, I think Sean Payton could work wonders.
Yeah, Denver's
with
a good
Russell
job too.
Yeah.
I do want to give credit. I know I picked on him the last couple of weeks, but I do want to give credit. That defense was phenomenal this weekend against the 49ers, especially in the first half. Micah Parsons throwing a man with one arm. That's a bad. Micah Parsons is a fucking beast. I saw him throw a guy with one arm. I think Elijah Mitchell hit the corner and he tracked him down. I was like, oh yeah. Imagine a guy like Micah Parsons is chasing you down. I'm giving up. Like you got it, my boy. But no, I want to give credit to their defense. They kept them in the whole game. Even Micah Parsons came out and said, didn't directly say it was Dak's fault, but he said, hey, we did our job. If you told us we would have held the 49ers and this great team to under 20 points, you would think we would win, right?
Absolutely.
And I would too. If you told me, hey, the Cowboys, without the score, if you told me, hey, the Cowboys held the 49ers to under 20 points, I said, damn.
I think the Cowboys won 27-20.
Yeah, at least. So it is frustrating. I think they lack offense. Michael Gallup, thanks for fucking coming for nothing. You didn't even have a catch. T.Y. Hilton, you were a non-factor. Noah Brown, thanks for coming out. Like, they don't have anyone, Elvis. And I think they're really missing Amari Cooper bad. So I think they have some work to do. Don't know yet if Dak is the guy, but we will find out very soon. But Elvis, before we get into previewing the championship Sunday, let me tell you guys about our sponsor. We're brought to you by Viva Tequila Seltzer, the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. Look how much fucking seltzer I have on me right now. It's the number one hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Competition, with only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and 4.5 ABV. Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebration, as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We flavor our tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks with just a kick, just like how we like our lives. Whether it's Huckleberry playing around a golf with the boys or an elderberry Sunday watching championships football, it doesn't matter. Our flavors pair perfectly with that artisanal blanco tequila for that subtle but refreshing drink. Our belief here at the Dream Wager and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. All right, Elvis, we have two. We're down to four. We're down to four teams. It's going to be the NFC Championship first on Sunday at 3 o'clock, and then we'll get to the AFC Championship game at 6:30. But let's preview real quick. Eagles laying 2.5 at home. Over-unders around 46.5. Some money it has come in on the Eagles already. What do you make of this line? And do you agree with the Eagles being favored at home?
Yeah, Dale, we always hear that the home team gets 3 points. So if we want to be technical, 49ers are a half-point favorite.
On a neutral fight, yeah.
On a neutral field, 49ers will be either a -0.5 or -1. So I think Vegas is respecting the 49ers and Kyle Shanahan, Dale. Like, I honestly didn't think Brock Purdy had it in him. But what he's been doing, Dale, is the lights ain't too big for him. Maybe that crowd in Philly could throw him off his horse, but Dale, he hasn't fell off his horse yet. And there's been a lot of rocks in the way, a lot of chips. But hey, he hasn't been falling off, Dale. So give credit to him. But Philly dominated the Giants, like pure dominated them. So I think that they rightfully should be favored. And I agree. If it would have been to 3.5 from what we saw this weekend, I would agree with it, Dale. 49ers, you could say they snuck away with a victory, and then you see the Eagles dominate their way into one. So I agree with the line, and if it was a little higher, I would agree with it too.
So what would you make the line? Eagles what? Minus what?
I would say -3. Maybe off that performance, maybe a -4, just because it was pure domination, and the Eagles looked like they didn't miss a beat. The 49ers struggled a little bit, though. For the first time in, 6-7 weeks, they didn't march up and down the field like we normally see. Christian McCaffrey looked average. Didn't really get able to get any holes anywhere. Shout out to Dallas. We all said Dallas had a bad running rush defense. Philly got a very good rush defense still, so maybe that might be an issue as well. If Christian McCaffrey doesn't give you 60, 80, 90 yards, or is Brock Purdy in that offense going to be as effective?
Yeah. I agree. I think the Eagles should be favorite with the dominant performance. I think if it gets to 3, I'd have no choice but to take the 49ers plus the 3. I think it's a good teaser option if you like the dogs this week. Tease 49ers up to 8.5. You could possibly get a 9 if it goes to 3. I think if you like the 49ers, I think you wait because I think it could get to 3. I think the value might be a little gone if you like the Eagles. I think you should have hammered it when it opened up at -1.5. Now it's up to -2.5 with it heavily juiced to -120. I see. So might get to 3. 68% of the money is on the Eagles. Rightfully so. I think they are. I think they're the better team right now. I like the under. A couple days away, I lean under just because you got two great defenses. I think especially in the first half, they're going to be filling each other out. I think they're not going to make explosive plays. I don't think they're going to take too many chances. Now, question on the 49ers side real quick, aside from the game. Has Brock Purdy done enough for him to be QB1 next year?
I was saying this in a group chat earlier. I think Brock Purdy has done enough to earn himself a contract. Like I'm talking not like a little 1 year, 2 year. I'm talking about 4 or 5 years, couple $100 million.
Wow.
I think we have to go there with him, Dill, because 7-0 speaks for itself. His touchdown to interception ratio speaks for itself. Having a clean playoff game, back-to-back wins, speaks for itself.
He has more playoff wins than Dak.
You didn't have to do that. Now,
I'm sorry, but
he got more playoff wins than the Jets in 15 years.
But see, you didn't have to do that.
I didn't have to do. You didn't have to do that.
But you're not a Cowboy fan.
I understand, but you didn't have to. You disrespecting some of our listeners, Dill.
No,
it's sore. They're a little sore, Dill. It's only Tuesday. God damn it.
It's
You didn't
everyone
have to.
makes fun of Dak. No
You
one
didn't
makes
have to.
fun of the Jets. Come on. We
You
know
didn't
we're
have to
not a
do that.
playoff
You could have
team.
said Lamar. You could have said Lamar. He does have more playoff wins than Lamar already. You know, he has. Think about it, Dale. He has more playoff wins than Kyler Murray. He got paid. He got more playoff wins than Deshaun. He got paid.
Fully guaranteed.
He got more playoff wins than Carson Wentz. He got
Jalen
paid.
Hurts.
Jalen Hurts hasn't got paid yet, so we can't say. But he will get paid as well, Dale.
I think with Brock Purdy, I think there's debate right now. If he's definitely going to come back and compete for the QB1 spot, I think if he wins and goes to the Super Bowl, I think it's over. I think he's the quarterback.
I think you gotta give him. I think you gotta give him $200 million if he wins the Super Bowl.
If he wins the Super Bowl, I mean, this guy's done it all.
I think moving forward, though, it depends what he does, this weekend, and if he gets to the Super Bowl. But you're so heavily invested in Trey Lance. Think about it, though. You traded 2 first-round picks and a third just to move
can't
up.
stay on the field though. Look what they're doing with Mr. Irrelevant.
I understand, Dill, but how are you gonna get anything back in value? Or is there a team out there gonna be, I'll give you a first rounder for Trey Lance?
No.
I don't think there's a team like that. So what's the best way to get value out of him? You got to put him on the field. You got to put good tape out.
Yeah. No, I agree. It should be interesting moving forward. Let's go to the AFC Championship game. 6:30, Kansas City hosting the Bengals. Bengals -1.5 on the road. Over unders 47.5. This game's been very weird. So it opened up Kansas. I saw Circa, Caesars, very respectable books open up Chiefs -3. It lasted for 5 minutes. The sharps went all over Bengals +3. Went down to -2.5 about 5 minutes later. An hour later, went down to -1.5. And now today, sitting here we're about 48 hours removed. Cincinnati is -1.5. And they'll probably get to the -2 because of the injury to Patrick Mahomes. We don't know how he's going to perform. We don't know how he's even going to look. But Elvis, do you agree with the line move?
Absolutely, Dill. Just because the fact of Patrick Mahomes' ankle, is he going to be? Well, we know off the rep he's not going to be 100%, but is he going to be 80%? Is he going to be 75%? That's the question mark, Dill. Maybe if it wasn't a high ankle sprain, maybe the points would have stood where it was at. But it being a high ankle sprain, everybody knowing it's going to take 4 to 6 weeks, 3 to 5 weeks for it to heal. And then now you expect them to play in the AFC Championship game just 9 days, 8 days later. It's a tough task. Even after they shoot it up, inject it, wrap it up real good, whatever you want to, they can do, they will do. But it's still a high ankle sprain at the end of the day, Dill. And to be honest, is he going to practice at all this week? Could he honestly go out there and go full speed Thursday or Friday? Even tomorrow, is he going to go full speed tomorrow? Because they're not going to hit with pads Friday or Saturday. They're not going to go full speed with pads on Friday or Saturday. So is he going to do full pads tomorrow or Thursday? I don't think so.
Should be very interesting, 76 or not 76. 76% of the money is on Cincinnati. 24% of it is on Kansas City. So very interesting. I want to see how far the Chiefs get up, because I think I'm going to tease the Chiefs with the 49ers. I think that's my teaser of the week, and I think I'm going to do the dogs. But no, I agree with the line move as well. I think the way they performed on top of the injury, they deserve to be the favorite. And I think their defense needs to get a lot of credit. I think they're not accounting for how good Zach Taylor's been. That defense for the Bengals, how good he's schemed up against the Chiefs. So they have history. They beat them 3 times in a row. They've owned them. It's tough to see Patty Mahomes not be 100%, but should be a good one, Elvis. I kind of like Travis Kelce's yards again. I'm just going to go back to all reliable. And I think
it doesn't matter who the quarterback is.
Yeah.
Henny, Patrick Mahomes. Remember, my man had 10 catches at half. That's saying something.
Yeah. So I think no matter who's at quarterback, they're going to force feed Travis Kelce the ball. So should be a good one. Elvis, we will save our picks for next episode. But Yeah, let's transition over to the hardwood. I know you haven't had the best luck this weekend in the NBA, but let's turn that around. I know few games are started or live right now, but let's get to the games that aren't live. New Orleans Pelicans hosting the Denver Nuggets. Nuggets laying 3.5 on the road, over under 233. Any play in this one for you?
Wow, they're laying 3.5, Dill. I ended up catching it earlier, Dill. I ended up today's straight dogs, Dill. I took Denver plus 102 earlier. Now they're minus 3.5, so I'm feeling a little more confident in the play. I don't know how they were even plus money earlier. I guess somebody was probably questionable. Now they're gonna play, but Denver. I love Denver against the Pelicans. I like Denver mostly against anybody, Dill. And even if I could get them at plus money, even better. Give me Denver money line. I still even like it at -3.
Yeah, maybe because Brandon Ingram is out for the Pelicans, but I felt like he's been out for a while now with
He's
this
been out,
team.
but he's been trying to return, Dill. So I think he was
Okay.
supposed to come back today, and late scratch.
Well, little late scratch. Let's go out to Dallas. Dallas Mavericks hosting the Wizards. Mavericks laying 7 at home. Over unders at 224. Any play in this one for you?
Nah, Dill. You know the Wizards just traded away Hachimura to the
Yeah.
Lakers, so it
Like
kind
the
of
move?
I like the move, Dill. What have Kendrick Nunn have done for you? I know he's been
Nothing.
playing a little better, these recent weeks, but the whole season long, and especially last season, he haven't done nothing. Traded a few second round picks, and to be honest, Dennis Schroeder's playing good basketball, so why you need another guard anyway? You're loaded at the guard position already. Austin Reeves should be coming back from injury, so you're loaded at guard. No need to have 5 guards still. No need
Yeah, I
to.
don't like the move for the Wizards. I think he's a pretty good player, Rachi Haramura. So,
I think it shows you what they think of this season and moving forward, Dill. So
yeah.
moving forward, don't put money on the Wizards. Maybe, Kyle Kuzma or Bradley Beal points over, but moving forward doesn't show they're interested in this season or think the team's capable of winning.
Yeah, for this game, no side or total. I'm gonna go Spencer Dinwiddie, more than 18.5 points. He's gone over this number in 5 straight games. And the last time he played the Wizards, he dropped 33. His old team. I think we see another big night from him. So I'm gonna go over 18.5 points. It's a little juicy to -115, but like they say, Elvis, sometimes the juice is worth the squeeze. Let's go out to Phoenix. The Suns laying 7 at home against the Charlotte Hornets. Over unders at 223. You laying the 7 with the Suns.
Dill, laying points with the Suns is a tough task this season, Dill. So, but the Charlotte Hornets suck so much. So I end up staying away from this game, Dill. I'm not gonna touch it, but you gotta lean with the Suns.
Yeah, I was able to get the Suns earlier in the day. I took them -6.5. Suns getting a little better. They're 5-2 ATS the last 2 weeks, including 3-0 ATS at home. Meanwhile, like you said, the Hornets are a bad team. 2-5 ATS in the last 2 weeks. 2-3 ATS on the road. I love the spot for the Suns. Gordon Hayward continuing to be out. That man, he just steals money from teams. The amount of time he's out. LaMelo, he's questionable. I don't think he'll play. And even without DeAndre Ayton, he's questionable as well. I think the Suns still win. So I'm going to lay the 6.5 or the 7 with the Suns. A couple games left. Let's go out to Los Angeles. Battle of Los Angeles. LA Lakers are the home team, but they will take on the Clippers. Clippers laying 4.5. Over unders at 230. Any play in this one?
Dill, you might be shocked. Give me the Lakers money line at plus 145, Dill.
Wow.
I think LeBron and the team could sneak out a victory here against the Clippers. Clippers haven't been playing great basketball as of late.
No.
I don't know what it is. Lakers haven't put in a little something together. Made that trade. So hey, maybe they got some enthusiasm under them, thinking, hey, we could do this, guys. We could do this. Love how Bryant been playing. Tobias TB. I forgot his first name, but my boy TB been playing great.
The big guy from the
Yeah,
Lakers. Yeah. I
Russell
forgot his name
Westbrook
too.
been playing great. Dennis Schroeder been playing at another level. Dill LeBron James, I think he's averaging like 37 points since he turned 38, something crazy like that. So
You saw that play where they were barking at him. Next play comes down and dunks on him.
come on now, Uncle
Welcome.
James. You're 20, age like 5'1".
You any props for you in this game? Maybe LeBron over?
You got to lean LeBron over. I don't care where he's at. It's probably like at 31 or 30 points, but I still lean his over, Dill. LeBron is just a different. It's at 32 and a half. That's what's just telling you at what performance
He's
he's
gonna
been
go for
playing at.
40.
He might go for 40 against the Clippers. Yeah, let's do LeBron more than 32 and a half points. I think he goes for 35, possibly 38 points in Lakers win.
Yeah, if you guys want to get down on all the props or any of these projections, all first-time users and deposit and use promo code DreamWager will receive 100% instant deposit match up to 100. Prize Picks, they're giving out money. You deposit 100, they will give you 100. You deposit 50, they'll give you 50. It's easy. You pick 2 to 5 players, maybe LeBron more than his points, combine it with Spencer Dinwiddie, and you could earn up to 3 times. You could earn up to 10 times your money on any entry. Has to be 2 to 5 players or more to go more or less than their projection. You're not going against other people. You're just going against the Prize Picks projection. So you could do it in any sport: NBA, NHL, college, NFL, WNBA, literally anything. Prize Picks entries can be made within 60 seconds or less. It's that easy. Prize Picks Safe offers fast withdrawals as well. So if you want to get in on the action tonight, download Prize Picks today. Check if your state offers it and play daily fantasy sports with us. Make sure you use promo code DreamWager when you sign up. Elvis, that's all the NBA. For tomorrow, though, you have a couple games that you wanted to tell the audience about. What do you got?
Got a few plays for tomorrow, people. Slight look ahead. Give me the Pelicans money line against the Timberwolves. I will think Brandon Ingram is in the lineup tomorrow. Probably didn't make it tonight. Possibly in the lineup tomorrow at home against the Timberwolves. Don't like the Timberwolves team. Give me the Pelicans at home on the money line minus 130. Still, our Utah Jazz on the road as underdogs. So you know I gotta take Utah plus 3.5 against Portland in Portland. Portland just had I think a damn near 20-point lead against the Lakers and let it slip away and lost that game. Deal can't respect that. I know I was just talking good about the Lakers, but the Lakers still are a below 500 team. That was just a bad game. And then Dill, give me one of the shocking best teams in the NBA. And I don't know if you heard that crowd last night, Dill, but that crowd sounded amazing. Give me the Sacramento Kings at home against the Raptors minus 4 at home, Dill. That's how much confidence I have on the Sacramento Kings. I'm out here laying 4 points with them. And then
Did you see the collapse though? They should have beat the 76ers that night.
No, they should have, Dill, but that shows you they're a good team.
They came back and beat the quote unquote bad boys of the NBA. They blew them out by 33.
Bro, still, I'm telling you, Kings are nothing to mess with. And then I got a couple leans. I'm gonna lean Brooklyn plus 5.5 against Philly. We just beat the defending champs Golden State Warriors with Kyrie single-handedly. Steph was on the floor, Draymond was on the floor, Clay was on the floor. Still beat them. Light work. Marquee game matchup tomorrow. Denver at Milwaukee Bucks. No spread out yet. No lines up, but I'll lean Denver on that. Whatever the spread is. Might be Denver -2, -3. We'll see about that. And then Memphis versus Golden State. Another great game on ESPN. Damn, I'm going to take Golden State Warriors. I don't know what the spread will be. I'm going to guess Grizzlies will be slight favorite in this matchup. So if anything, I'm going to take the points with Golden State. But I think Golden State can sneak out a victory. Give me Golden State on the money line. I'm pretty sure this will be plus money. And then Lakers on a back-to-back. They're going to sneak out a victory tonight against the Clippers. I think if they win tonight, LeBron possibly plays tomorrow. If LeBron plays tomorrow, I think they win back-to-back games still. So I'm going to lean the Clippers money line as well tomorrow against the Spurs.
Wow, full slate of games. I love it. I like the play for the Brooklyn because Embiid is questionable and James Harden is out. So if they're out at least one of their top 2 players, and I think you guys have a chance. I also like Atlanta. I know OKC's been a frisky team, but Atlanta's been on a little hot roll. Real quick, I wanted to talk to you about, you mentioned Portland blowing that lead. Pat Bev was about to beat him up too. What happened?
Pat Bev, he was saying what time it was, because he said,
and Dame said, "I'll beat your ass." When he said that, I was dying because I believe him. Dame's like that.
Yeah, Dame's like that. Yeah, Dame's like that. I respect it, but It was the fourth quarter. He did blow a 20-point lead.
They
And
did.
he did lose that at home. He was at home. It's not like he was at the crib. He was at home.
Very funny. I thought that little incident at the foul line was very comical. Papev gets under everyone's skin. So when he got under Dame, it was great TV to see. But oh, by the way, I'm glad. I don't think he necessarily needed to do it, but he took the high ground. Shout out Shannon Sharp for apologizing. Say, he's a real man, great guy in the media. I love Shannon Sharp. He's a Hall of Famer on the field, but he's a great person, I've heard, off the field. So he took the high ground. I wish Skip would have done that. People would have respected Skip a little more, but it is what it is. I am glad that he took the timeout and he goes, I shouldn't have done that. But what'd you make of it? Because I know you were watching it live.
Yeah, I was watching it live, Dill. To be honest, I think he did a little too much apologizing, but I understand it. I think he just wanted to make sure he didn't offend nobody.
Yeah, of course.
Make sure his bosses are content with his actions, because it's not like he did anything. But
man, now
he's a company, and he's a corporate man. So we just saw the real Shannon Sharp. That's all. Don't play with my man. Don't play with Unc. That's all. Don't play with Unc. If you're gonna play with Unc, you're gonna disrespect Unc. You better come see him. You better come see him. Now you better keep the energy. So you have some respect for the Hall of Famer. Remember, at one point, this guy was the greatest tight end in the NFL history. No ifs, ands, or buts. When he left the game, he was the greatest tight end. Dylan Brooks, when you leave the game, you will not be the greatest nothing.
Of anything. Thank you. Anything. Oh, my God. We'll end it there. But real quick, 4 college plays before I let you go. They start at 9, so you got some time to get them in. Syracuse plus 4.5 at home against the Tar Heels. I like Kentucky Vanderbilt under 144.5. Oklahoma State Cowboys, baby, plus 8.5 at Texas. I love that game. And then UNLV late night, 11 p.m., taking on Wyoming. Give me UNLV. I'll lay the 6.5 at home with UNLV. What's their mascot? I've always wanted to know what UNLV mascot was. It's a Las Vegas thing, but that's a
chip. A chip.
Yeah, it's a chip, a poker chip. But Elvis, any last words before we get up out of here, kid?
Let's just have another great day. Hopefully the Nets could do another upset. We was plus 7.5 against the Warriors, plus 5.5 against the Philadelphia tomorrow. Let us stop disrespecting us. Let's sneak out another win, people.
Let's go. That's going to do it for this Tuesday edition of the Dream Wager. On behalf of our sponsors, Prize Picks and Viva Tequila, Elvis, myself, we'll see you guys in a few days. We'll break down Championship Sunday. We'll give you our favorite plays for the weekend. So please follow along our social media, Twitter and Instagram at the Dream Wager. If you miss an episode, no problem. You guys can find our episodes wherever you listen to podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher. If you haven't already, please subscribe, rate, review, all that good stuff really helps the show grow. So be a friend, tell a friend. Everyone have a great few days. Good luck on your wagers, and we'll see you guys down the road. Peace.